Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another IMDb Top 250 movie review. Today we are discussing Terminator 2 Judgment Day, one of my favorite movies. It came out in 1991 and is directed by James Cameron, stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, Edward Furlong, and Robert Patrick. And the story more or less picks off where the first Terminator film left off. Sarah Connor is in a mental hospital and John Connor is in foster care. And right off the bat, we get an awesome escape scene where Arnold, who's the T-800, Sarah Connor, and John Connor are escaping in cars, running through the hospital, driving down the street, and are being chased by Robert Patrick's liquid metal Terminator, the T-1000, one of the most iconic villains in sci-fi. He is really cool, and that is by far one of the best parts of this film, is that character and the visual effects that accompany this character. So the story goes that Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator is back from the future. He's back. Yes, he's come back from the future, and he is now trying to protect John Connor from the T-1000, who is trying to kill him, not Sarah Connor. Because, alright, if you haven't seen the first Terminator film, the first Terminator, the plot is Arnold Schwarzenegger's T-800 goes back in time to kill Sarah Connor so that she can't give birth to John Connor, who will lead the human resistance against the machines in the future. That's the plot of the first Terminator. At the end of that, spoiler warning for Terminator 1, that will be a warning. There will be spoilers for the first Terminator, but none for Terminator 2. At the end, she kills the T-800, and Cyberdyne Systems now has his arm. It's the mechanical robot arm that sits there like this in the glass tube with the chip, and they're trying to get that. These three, the T-800, Sarah Connor, and John Connor, are trying to get this chip so that they can prevent Judgment Day, which is basically the fall of humanity and the rise of the machines, which is the title of the crappy third movie that we're not going to discuss because it's not on the list. Right, moving swiftly onward. As I said before, this is a fantastic action film. It is my favorite action movie ever. I think that it's better than Die Hard, and that it's better than Aliens, and it's better than Mad Max Fury Road, just because it's a really good action movie, but it's a smart action movie. This is an action movie with a story, with a plot. Those mean the same thing. But it's one that you care about. And I'm not saying that Aliens and Die Hard don't have good plots. In fact, they both have very good plots. It's just that this one is better because I like time travel. Time travel is cool, and it's explosions with time travel and a cool story and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. Have you not seen this movie? Anybody that hasn't seen Terminator 2, what have you been doing? Go watch Terminator 2. Please, do yourself a favor and watch Terminator 2. Okay, now the next thing I wanted to discuss is the impact that this film had on basically film as a whole. This basically propelled James Cameron into super duper superstardom, because in 1986 he directed Aliens, which is a sequel to Alien, directed by Ridley Scott, and then later he did the first Terminator, which was very well received, and then he did Terminator 2, which was super well received, and then he did Titanic, which was super well received and is still holding the record for the most Academy Award nominations in history with 14, and it is tied for the most Academy Award wins in history with 11. It is tied with Ben-Hur, which had 12 nominations, and The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, which won 11 of its 11 nominations. Just a little bit of trivia for you there. I don't know what that had to do with Terminator 2, but I was talking about James Cameron, and I just figured that I'd do that. I'm talking really fast. Alright, moving swiftly onward to the image of James Cameron. I already discussed that. Okay. The visual effects are state-of-the-art for the time. They do look a little dated nowadays, especially the liquid metal. You kind of look like something I would see on a PS2, but at the time, this was state-of-the-art, groundbreaking visual effects. They are fantastic. This did win the Academy Award for Best Visual Effects, and there are also some really good practical effects. In the opening scene, the T-800, Arnold Schwarzenegger, takes a shotgun, and just T-800, or T-1000, shoots it, and its face just explodes open. It splits in half. It's really cool. They actually built that, and then used CGI to make it come and meld together back into human Robert Patrick playing the T-1000. That was really, really cool to see, because you don't see a lot of practical effects these days. Most recently, and most notably, Mad Max Fury Road was almost entirely practical effects, which a lot of people are saying, how is that not the best action movie ever? Terminator 2 is not as good as Mad Max. That's a lie. Mad Max had better action, but it's not the best action movie. The action in Mad Max was incredible. It is the best I've ever seen. But the story was lacking, where Terminator 2 excelled in both departments, and I think that's what makes Terminator 2 better. Mad Max Fury Road is my number 2 pick for best action movie. Alright, I'm going to compare this movie to Aliens, mainly the characters. First off, the characters in Terminator 2 are great. The T-800, iconic character. Edward Furlong is John Connor. I haven't really talked about him. He is one of the best child actors that I have ever seen. I don't know what he's done recently, but he was in American History X with Edward Norton a few years later. He was also excellent in that. But I think that this is a really good child actor performance. Not the best. I mean, alright, Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone is classic. Stand By Me is classic, but this is a really good performance, and I give a lot of props to Edward Furlong because he did a really good job for an actor at his age to be this convincing in a film this big budget, this complex. It is a pretty complex film. But mainly I want to talk about Sarah Connor and Ripley. They are both some of the best female characters ever in movies, best female action heroes, whatever you want to call them. They are both really strong characters. They're both really cool. They're cool to watch throughout their series. I think they're both great characters. I haven't seen all of the Terminator films, nor have I seen all of the Alien films. I've seen the first 2 Alien films, and I've seen the first 2 Terminator films, and I saw Salvation with Christian Bale and Sam Worthington. Christian Bale, you're a great actor. Why did you do that movie? It was terrible, and I haven't seen Rise of the Machines because I have no interest, and I didn't see Terminator Genesis because I most certainly have no interest. And Alien vs. Predator, Alien Resurrection, didn't bother seeing any of that. Alright, so before I talk about my own opinion, let's look at Mr. Malton's opinion, because Leonard knows all. Just kidding. Alright, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, 2.5 stars. Oh dear. A kinder, gentler cyborg from the future returns, this time to protect the soon-to-be savior of humanity from destruction by a rival Terminator. Box office smash, has special effects to knock your socks off, especially the liquid metal, and action to spare, but like so many sequels, lacks the freshness of the first film and gives us no one to root for. Oscar winner for Best Makeup, Sound Effects, Editing, and Visual Effects. Some versions feature additional footage. Hold on, what do you mean we have no one to root for? Did you not just hear what I said, Mr. Malton, about Sarah Connor and how she's one of the best movie characters ever? I don't get that review. To give you an idea, he gave Batman and Robin 2.5 stars. Batman and Robin with George Clooney, directed by Joel Schumacher, has the same rating as Terminator 2. He also gave The Dark Knight 2 stars. And Memento 1.5. And The Prestige 2 stars. I'm gonna stop. That's making me angry. I would be okay if he gave... Yeah, I wouldn't be okay if he gave Terminator 2 the rating that he did. In fact, I'm completely not okay with that. But he also gave it the same rating as Batman and Robin, which is just one of the worst movies ever. And I don't know how that you can... Why? Okay, if anyone was looking for me to get all angry and rant about a movie, congratulations, you just saw me do it. That's just... Okay, is it any good? I think so. I think that it's a fantastic movie. Don't listen to that guy. Actually, no, do listen to him. I have, as I said before, a lot of respect for him as a film critic. I just don't agree with a lot of his opinions, but... Okay. Please go check out Terminator 2. Is it deserving of its place? I absolutely think so. I think that it is a great, great film, in addition to being a great action film. My nose itches like crazy, oh my god. But yeah, that's really all that I have to say about Terminator 2, guys. Go, please, please, please check it out. It's got great action, great chase scenes, great gunfight scenes, explosions everywhere, not like Michael Bay. This is explosions with a decent plot. Okay, so really that is all that I have to say about that. Please go check out Terminator 2, tell me what you think, and yeah, what is your favorite action movie? I do want to know what is your favorite action movie. Comment it below, whatever you think. Now, a few things that I want to say before I go. That is the end of the review, so if you want to click off and go watch some other stuff, feel free. But this is just some extra stuff that I wanted to talk about. Number one, look at my new pen. It's fancy, it's red, it's really cool. Cool pen. Second, if you noticed, I have finished the first book of a Game of Thrones. Actually, I finished the first book of A Song of Ice and Fire, which is called The Game of Thrones, which was adapted into the HBO series Game of Thrones. I don't watch the show, but I am now on A Clash of Kings. I haven't started it yet, but I will tell you what I think when I finish it, which will be in, like, a year. Okay, and yeah. Social life and sleep are irrelevant. And so that's really all that I have to say about that. I'm already 7 episodes in. Okay, and I started yesterday. It's a really cool show. Go check it out, even if you know the ending, which everyone does except for my 2 friends because they're scrubs. Alright, that is really all that I have to say now. So, I will see you on my next review. My next review is Modern Times. I'm really looking forward to reviewing that. In fact, I already have the notes done for it. I am prepared. Yes! Okay, that is really all that I'm going to say now. I'm going on for too long. So, turning off the camera, and goodbye.